Welcome back to ICO Review, and today we'll be having a look at arbitraging. But before we do, today's video is brought to you by ICOexplainervideos.com. If you were looking for a premium quality animated explainer video for your ICO or blockchain related product, then you need to check these guys out. Absolutely top quality work, best on the market in my opinion, and you get to pay for 80% of the workload with your own token. Really what I'm going to do here is less of an ICO review and more of a comparison, right? Let's start off with my experience thus far with arbitraging. So this particular ICO contacted me personally. And they contacted me personally quite some time ago, maybe 6 to 8 weeks ago. The state of the ICO at that particular point made me not want to interact or engage whatsoever. So when I first started interacting with arbitraging, there was no team listed on the website, there was no existing product, and the ICO itself is handled through a third-party group. All of these were considerable flags for me, and frankly, I didn't want to touch it. So my experience thus far with arbitraging, when they first contacted me, it was about 6 to 8 weeks ago. There was no team listed, there was no existing product. I didn't want to touch it, didn't want to have a bar of it. But I gave that information to the team. It seems as if, not just because of me, but other people giving feedback as well. Then suddenly the CEO popped up, making a streamed video that he posted in the Telegram group introducing himself, explaining why he didn't want to be listed, etc. And, a few more weeks go by and now the team is listed. So we've got David Peterson, the CEO. So prior to arbitraging, and still presently, David is a co-founder, managing partner, and board member of a company called JDK Associates. And that's to do with invention, design, marketing, and full launch of consumer use products, lead production development strategies, hiring and building all executive teams. So he seems like a relatively high up individual. So I can understand why one wouldn't want to be listed in the ICO space if it threatened one's professional career. So that pretty much took care of flag number one for me. With the team is actually partially outsourced. So if we have a look at who ICO Moon are, Javed being the individual that contacted me personally. So head of marketing at ICO Moon, which is the company that contacted me. ICO Moon is an ICO marketing company. It has one aim: to make our investors a success, and so on and so on. So there is a degree of legitimacy lent to this particular ICO, considering they are transparently outsourced. Though I'm unaware as to how ICO Moon are compensated, I would imagine that they themselves are able to do their own due diligence. But I digress. To make things a little bit clearer before we proceed, this particular ICO is about trading, both manual and automated. Now, you'll see as I go through why some alarm bells were ringing. You can invest your ARB token into their decentralized ecosystem exclusively from the ARB dashboard. You can then use their custom arbitraging bot, or ABot, or MBot, which is the manual version, software to generate arbitrage profits. Your daily trading profits are paid directly to your external wallet in ARB tokens. ARB gives you complete control. There are no lock-in periods on your investment, so you are free to withdraw your funds wherever you decide. You can then choose to keep your funds in your wallet or reinvest back into the arbitrage trading bot and continue to receive daily profits. 100% of the profits you are paid are produced by the bot software. We do not have a multi-level marketing or Ponzi structure. This ensures ARB will be a long-term sustainable arbitrage trading platform. Now, so for those of you that are like-minded, it's about there where the alarm bells were going off for me. Not only does that description bear striking similarities to some lending platforms, it also then says, no, we are not a scam. So I always stop and question when somebody screams, no, we are not a scam. So you're probably wondering, why am I even entertaining this in the first place? So for those of you that aren't aware, arbitrage bots are a thing in the crypto space that exist and do work most of the time. In fact, I think of one very specifically that some of you may have heard of called Gunbot. So Gunbot itself is an arbitrage bot. So the way Gunbot works is after purchasing a specific license, you then select what exchange you want to use. Now the majority of exchanges allow you access to a thing called API. And all that is essentially is a key that allows backdoor access to your trading account. So by using API, the Gunbot will then start doing trades with the amount of money that is in your account with nominated pairs. And in case you think that sounds a little bit dodgy, I can personally attest for Gunbot's validity. But don't just take my word for it. Have a look here. So this is the Gunbot GUI interface. So I have personally purchased a Gunbot. I personally use a Gunbot when it's working. So just to back up what I'm saying here is where you enter the pairs for Gunbot itself. So you can see that I've just done a couple of demonstration pairs here. Bitcoin versus Einsteinium, Bitcoin versus ARB, NEM, Dash, Redcoin, and Power Ledger. So the way that all of this operates is you select multiple trading strategies. So right now I'm operating on step gain, though my personal favorite is Bollinger Bands. Now, for those of you that aren't aware of trading strategies, let's take Bollinger Bands for instance. So the software will monitor what is essentially a corridor on the chart. It takes the median average when the pair has dropped down a set percent. So in my case, when the pair has dropped 10%, it will purchase. When it is up 10% above the median average, it will sell, which allows for a total corridor of a 20% fluctuation. So you can see by automating that, how one will easily make small profit. And when the Gunbot is working properly, it's somewhere between 0.05 and 2%, depending on the fluctuation in a specific coin, etc. So let's say a very safe 1%, but that is not guaranteed. That's, when the market's good. If the market crashes and your portfolio dips, the bot cannot prevent that. So then if we select to run the Gunbot, and I'll just use those demonstration pairs, if we scroll down, we get a full log. You can see I've logged into my Bittrex account now. The bot is monitoring the first pair, Einsteinium. Can we trade? Yes, no. Is the pair up? Is the pair down? Etc, etc. And in a moment, hopefully it's going to tick through. And there we go. It's on ARB, ticking through, and it should switch over to a third pair right about now. And there you go. So you can see the feed slowly developing as the body's interacting with the individual pair charts, seeing whether the coin is up, down, sideways, whatever. And it will just decide based upon whatever strategy you've selected to either A, buy, or B, sell, depending on where you are at the present moment. So why have I told you about Gunbot in this conversation? To me, if we're going to talk about arbitrage bots, Gunbot on the market has the highest success rate, and as such makes it the golden standard for me when we have a look at arbitrage bots. This is what I want. If anybody ever says an arbitrage bot, I want something like this. So now, here we have the arbitraging dashboard. So this is the member dashboard where you select whether you're going to use the automated bot, the manual bot, the internal exchange, etc, etc. Be aware that some features are locked because I have been granted access or limited access to the beta version. And again, this dashboard leaves a little bit to be desired as it stands in the form that's in front of you. So let's have a look at what happens when we decide to start the bot. So allegedly the bot starts automatically the very moment you transfer coins into the wallet address. So really at face value, there's nothing really happening right now. There is no evidence of trade. However, as your crypto enthusiast, I just don't have anything to go by here right now. So what we're going to do is check in with this and see what happens with these 1,000 tokens, how the A bot interacts, and we're going to give this 5 days. We're going to give this 5 days to see whether anything is credited to my Ether wallet, and we'll revisit the video then. And it's actually been over 5 days now, if I've got my dates correct. And you can see that the bot has been churning out tokens, roughly in and around 10 a day. And the percentage at which the bot has been churning out is directly proportionate to what the market did that day. So it's interesting so far. It feels fine. It feels legitimate. It just doesn't have that control factor. It doesn't have that control that I like in Gunbot, seeing every single little trade happen. And that lack of transparency for me makes me cautious. I've been really giving a lot of solid thinking towards, how to figure out whether something is a scam, isn't a scam, etc. Now, at a glance, ARB, there still isn't anything to guarantee that they're not just going to bail, right? So having a look at ICO Moon, there's not much on LinkedIn tying them back to any physical address. Though, yes, I've had a lot of interactions with them on Telegram. I've had a lot of interactions with other ICOs on Telegram as well that vanished. So here is the saving grace for me. Is David Peterson's LinkedIn, which we had a look at earlier, the JDK Associates. If we have a squiz at JDK Associates, there are a lot of other people tied in to that company. Too many to be tied into that company for me to think it's just a quick drum up, you know what I'm saying? So in the very least, there is a degree of accountability and a degree of validity to who David Peterson actually is now that he has provided us with his LinkedIn. And I realize I'm being very critical and very hard to please with this particular topic, but because of the striking similarities and because of the lack of control here I can see in the ABot, I have to be. I absolutely have to be. Because there are 4,500 people here on my channel that I need to make sure I'm giving the correct information to. Though there is a little bit of a lack of maybe transparency about what the ABot is actually doing, we can see it's doing something, it is paying out, and so far, the experience has been delightful. Really, the experience in this beta test has been a very positive one for me. Troubleshooting with the group has been great, and seeing the bot actually pay out has been fantastic, just waiting for it to land in the wallet itself. And of course, going back to the original comparison, which was half the point of this video, looking at the original Gunbot, at least Arbitraging is actually turning out profit at the moment, whereas my Gunbot is down again. I can't even access it to show you. So if we're looking at it from an objective functionality standpoint, Arbitrage is winning right now because it's the one that's actually working. So the advantage to the bot in ICO form is you don't need to worry about any maintenance. You don't need to be responsible for the continuous upkeep and troubleshooting of what might be going wrong with your bot. And I suppose that really is the true trade-off then, isn't it? It's the lack of seeing a continuous feed versus the low maintenance nature, provided that arbitraging hangs around for us. And with the real-world ties that the CEO now has to the project and therefore ties back to his other business and the numerous associates there, I think that they will be around to stay. I don't want to be wrong, but I do feel like they'll be around to stay. But of course, let me know in the comments whether you think this looks good or whether you think I'm mad. And as always, I have been your crypto enthusiast, and I'll see you in the next one.